श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. With the abundant blessings of our Acharya Swamiji, we have been continuing with the study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are on chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga. We commenced this chapter yesterday. Dhyana Yoga, Bhagavan is covering the range of experiences from the beginner to the master. In shloka number 3, he defined the distinction between Aururukshoho and Yoga Rudasya. Aururukshu is one who wishes to climb the hill of Dhyana Yoga. Yoga Rudha is one who has already climbed and reached the peak. And Bhagavan made it clear that while doing Karma Yoga, Karma Karana Muchyate. Karma is a sadhana. Karana is sadhana in this context. Is the means. Karma is the means. Karma Yoga is the means by which you will get more and more proficiency in Dhyana Yoga. And finally, when you reach the peak, karma is no longer required. Shamah karana muchyate. You withdraw from all karmas. Because complete withdrawal from karmas only will give you complete peace and you can be in the mature Dhyana Yoga stage. So these two concepts he made very clear in sloka number 3. Now in sloka number 4, he is defining who is the Yoga Rudha. When can you consider yourself as Arudha, one who has climbed the peak of Dhyana Yoga? Yada jinendriyartheshu na karmas anushajyate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudhas tada uchyate. Yada tada yoga rudha tada uchyate. He is called Yoga Rudha at that stage. Which stage? Na indriyartheshu na karmasu anushajyate. When he has completely lost attachment to the sense objects and the karma yoga activities. Because he said, na samakkarana muchyate. You have to withdraw yourself from karmas. That is the requirement for having reached yoga rudha stage. So he says, na karmasu anushajyate. Of course, this can be interpreted as even if you do your karma, you have lost the ownership and the fruits, as we have defined in the previous chapters. This definition continues here also. You can still continue to do karmas in that condition. Na karmasu anushajyate. That is why he is using the word anushajyate. Anushajyate means not attached. Not attached. You can still do karmas. So not attached to karmas, not attached to sense objects, and sarva sankalpa sannyasi. You have abandoned all sankalpas, all mental imageries of fruits of the karmas, even mental imageries, mental imaginations. You should stop. You should have dropped. Na karmasu anushajyate. Now, Adi Shankara explains it as Nitya Naimittika Kamya Pratisiddheshu Prayojana Abhava Buddhya Anusangam Kartavyata Buddhyam Na Karoti. This is the definition. There are 4 types of karmas which we have seen before. Nitya Naimittika Kamya Pratisiddha. Nitya is every day to be done. Naimittika is occasionally to be done. Today is Amavasya day. So there is a Shraddha Tarpana to be done today. That is Naimittika. Kamya. Kamya karma. That is karma driven by desire. You perform a homa at home. Ganapati Homam, etc., for a certain purpose. So that is Kamya Karma. Pratishiddha is, of course, prohibited karma. So these four types of karmas. In all these four types of karmas, prayojana abhava buddhya. There is no prayojana, there is no expectation of fruit. So he has lost kartavyata buddhim. He doesn't feel that there is a need to do kartavyata buddhim. So he is dropping the karmas. Sankalpa, we have seen definitions before. Another definition is coming up here in Manusmriti. Sankalpa moola kamo vai yajnaha sankalpa sambhavaha yadyadhi kurute jantuhu tattat kamasya cheshtitam. All desires have their roots in sankalpa. That is the first thought of the desire, first imagination of the fruit. Yajnaha sankalpa sambhavaha. In fact, all the yajnas that have been ordained are all based on sankalpas only. They are all aimed at certain fruits. Yadyadhi kurute jantuhu tattat kamasya cheshtitam. Of course, this applies to a normal person. Normal person, whatever he does, jantu he says. Even animals, any living being, whatever he does, is all driven by kama only. That is, and kama is driven by sankalpa. सर्व संकल्प संन्यासी सर्वान् कामान् सर्वाणि च कर्माणि त्याजयति भगवान. That means he asks you, Bhagavan asks you to drop all desires and all karmas. Sarva sankalpa sannyasi. Yoga rudha tada uchyate. That is the definition of yoga rudha. आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगं कर्मकारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमकारणमुच्यते यदा हिनेन्द्रियार्थेषु न कर्मस्वनुषज्यते सर्वसङ्कल्पसन्न्यासी योगारूढस्तदोच्यते उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानम् आत्मानमवसादयेत् आत्मैव स्यात्मनो बन्धुरात् Very Atmanaha is a very famous word, oft quoted. Nobody can help you in this progress. In fact, this applies to progress in any sphere. In the context in which we are now, it applies to progress in Dhyana Yoga. Progress in spiritual matters and progress in Dhyana Yoga particularly cannot be achieved with the help of someone else. Don't think that someone will come to your aid and then he will help you. No, that is not possible. Uddharet atmana atmanam. By your dint of effort, you have to bring yourself up. Uddharet means bringing up. Uddharana, coming up. So, by your effort, here Atma can be interpreted as mind. Atma can be interpreted as mind, manasa. Manasa jivam uddharet. This is a definition given by Brahmananda Giri. That is, using the mind, you bring the jiva up. The condition of the jiva goes on improving through the application of the mind. That is what he says. Na atmanam avasadayete. Under no circumstances ridicule yourself. Don't underestimate. Don't start criticizing avasadam. Don't do that to yourself, to your own mind. Don't think, no, I am a sinner. I have done this sin, that sin. How can I advance spiritually? No way. If you think like that, that is not going to help you in progress. Na atmanam avasadayete. Atmanam na avasadayete. Never ridicule yourself. Never bring yourself to contempt. Never do that. And you should put in all efforts yourself to bring yourself up. Uddharet atmana atman. Atmaiva hi atmano bandhu. He is a definition. Atma alone. Eva is also definition. Two definitions is used. Atma alone, indeed. Eva is alone, he is indeed. Atma alone is indeed the bandhu of Atma, the relative of Atma, means the well-wisher of Atma. That means there cannot be an external well-wisher, there cannot be an external assistance. Atmaiva Shyatmano Bandhuhu. Atmaiva Ripuhu Atmanaha. By the same token, you get the other concept that Atma alone is the foe, is the enemy of Atma. That means the mind is Manayeva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Mokshayoho. Upanishad says this. Same concept in different words. Mind alone is the cause for one's bondage and one's moksha. Manayeva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Mokshayoho. For Bandha as well as moksha, who is the main cause? Manas, mind. So same thing. Here, Atma, the first Atma, if you consider as Manas, and second Atma, if you consider as Jiva, then it becomes more clear. That is what Brahmananda suggested. So he says, use your mind, control your mind, take the mind along the right direction, then the Jiva will go to higher levels. And never bring the mind to a state of contempt. Never do that. And mind is one's friend of the Jiva. Friend is the relative of the Jiva. Similarly, mind can be the enemy of the Jiva depending on how you control the mind. Samsara sagare nimagnam atmanam uddharet. That should be your prayer. That should be your prayer. I am immersed in the ocean of samsara. So please help me to come up. I am immersed, so I have to come up out of this ocean. So that is uddharete atmana atma. So that should be your aim when doing this uddhara. Manayeva devatya yogarudhatva sampadanena tarakam. Brahmananda makes it even more clear. He says, yogarudhatva sampadanena. You want to become yogarudha, isn't it? That is your aim. For that, tarakam, you have to cross this ocean of samsara, the ocean of misery. For that, who is going to help you? Manayeva jivasya. Manas alone, mind alone will help you in this process. So don't expect someone else. Yes, you can arrange the external circumstances to suit that. He is also going to explain. Bhagavan is also going to explain how you should do your dhyana yoga. So, yes, external circumstances are extremely important, particularly for a beginner. But don't think that external help will go a long way. No, never. That is the point made in this shloka. Bandhuratma atmanastasya yanatmaivatmanajitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vartetethatmaiva shatruvate. There is a subhashitam which I wanted to bring in. Kshanasha kanashashchaiva vidyam artham cha sadhayet. Kshane nashte kuto vidya, kane nashte kuto dhanam. It's a very beautiful subhashitam, which of course talks about mundane matters, but you should use the concept for Jnana Yoga in this context. Because almost all subhashitas are for day-to-day life. But you should extend the concept to the level in which we are discussing. Kshanashaha kanashashchaiva vidyam artham cha sadhayate. Vidyam kshanashaha sadhayate. Every moment you should spend in acquisition of vidya, acquisition of knowledge. Every moment. Kshana, every kshana. Don't waste a kshana without improving your vidya. Similarly, kanashashchaiva artham cha sadhayet. If you want to acquire wealth, every little speck of wealth, kana, every little speck of wealth, you should not ignore. Go on accumulating. That is for one who is interested in wealth. Kshane nashte kuto vidya, kane nashte kuto dhanam. If you have lost one kshana, 1 second, where you are going to achieve improvement in your Vidya. Similarly, if you have lost one speck of wealth, where you are going to acquire wealth. So, this is an injunction for not wasting our resources. That is the interpretation which helps us in the context in which we are. So use your mental resources to the maximum. Everybody's mental resources different, it varies from person to person. So because of the old vasanas, so everyone is not in the same boat. So you should get yourself, prepare yourself, and make suitable efforts. Don't think that you will achieve the goal in one day. The Bhagavan also is going to say that. Make your steady efforts. Bandhu Atma Atmanaha. The same concept is being repeated in a different way. Tasya yena atmaiva atmana jitaha. He said, isn't it? Bandhu and Ripu. Atma can become your Bandhu, Atma can become your Ripu. Now he is defining under what circumstance it becomes Bandhu, under what circumstance it becomes Shatru. Yena atmaiva atmana jitaha. By whom? With the help of Atma, Atma has been conquered. Means what? Mind has been conquered with the help of mind. Antakarana has been conquered. Antakarana or the external sense organs, all are meant here. Karya Karana Sanghataha. That is how Adi Shankara defines this Atma here in this context. That means the mind and the sense organs and all that goes with it should be conquered. Then only conquered by whom? With the help of your mind, with the help of your own efforts. Yena atmaiva atmana jitaha. Bandhuhu atma atmanaha tasya. In that context, your mind is your relative. When that mind helps you in controlling the sense organs, controlling all that is anatma. Then anatmanastu satrutve vartete atmaiva satruvat. Anatmanaha means mind is under, mind is uncontrolled. Mind and all the sense organs are uncontrolled. He is anatma according to this definition here. So for that person, atma eva shatrutve satruvat vartate. Atma eva, his own mind, behaves like a shatru, behaves like an enemy in the operation of the shatrutve. He behaves like an enemy and operates like an enemy. His quality is like an enemy, Satrutva. Whose quality? The mind which is not helpful in controlling your sense organs, your emotions, etc., etc. So that mind is of no use to you, it is a Shatru. That mind which helps you in conquering sense organs, emotions, etc., is your Bandhu, your relative. That is the point made here. Now, you can take the example of a master and a servant. A servant who is under control is helpful to you. A servant not under your control is unhelpful like a Shatru. So that's the point he's made. So make your mind subservient to your willpower. So your willpower should prevail over your mind. What is your willpower? Your willpower is to ascend on the path of Jnana Yoga. So that is what he is trying to say here. उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानम् आत्मानमवसादयेत् आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुः आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः बन्धुरात्मा आत्मनः तस्य येन आत्मैव आत्मना जितः tasya. For that person, he is defining that person who has conquered his sense organs, mind. Anatmanastu satrutve vartet atmaiva satruvat. जितात्मनः प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु तथा मानापमानयोः. He said, Atma has been conquered, then only he is your friend. That mind is your friend. What is the measure of having conquered. This has been mentioned earlier. Now he is mentioning in this context, in the context of Dhyana Yoga. Yitatmanaha prashantasya paramatma samahitaha. In the case of the mind which has been controlled, the mind and sense organs which have been conquered, Jita Atmanaha, prashantasya, his mind becomes extremely at peace, tranquil, no agitation. Yes, mind is at peace. But what is the mind thinking about? Paramatma samahitaha. It is fully focused towards Paramatma only, nothing about mundane interests. This is the hallmark of your mind having helped you in conquering your desires, your emotions, sense organs, etc., etc. If the mind has been helpful, then the mind will be fully focused on Paramatma. You will be entirely at peace. Shita-ushna-sukha-dukkheshu tatha-mana-apamanayoho. In Shita, Ushna, cold and heat, Sukha and Dukkha, pleasure and pain. In these dual experiences, tatha mana apamanayoho, similarly honor and dishonor. Somebody dishonors you, somebody honors you. Don't feel happy when somebody honors you. Don't feel dejected when somebody dishonors you. That is all sign of immature mind. If you are having a mature mind which has controlled your emotions, then you will not care for all those honors and dishonors, pleasures and pains, and heat and cold. You will be focused entirely on Paramatma. Paramatma samahitaha. So Paramatma is not somewhere else. He is right inside you. That point is being made clear by Adi Shankara. Paramatma samahitaha sakshat atma bhavena vartate ityarthaha. He is there right inside you as Atma. So focus your mind on that Paramatma who is inside you. He is called the Pratyekatma, same as Paramatma. So that is the message conveyed in this shloka. So the mind is completely at peace, completely focused on Paramatma, never cares, completely ignores cold and heat experienced by the body also, Shita Ushna or experiences of the body. If you care for cold and heat, that means your mind is not still under control. Cold and heat, pleasure and pain, honor and dishonor, these are all difficult emotions to control. He is putting all of them together. Those difficulties, try to overcome. Practice, this is a matter of practice. So practice that, bring the mind under control to focus on Paramatma. Jnana Vijnana Tattatma Kutastho Vijitendriyaha Yukta Yogi Samaloshtasmakanchanaham. Now these two slokas are together actually. He is defining Yukta. Yukta Yati Uchyate. He is called Yukta. This is the peak. He is now defining the peak also because he said start controlling the mind. When the mind is fully under control, when it is fully focused on Paramatma, then he is called Yukta. Then that is the time when you have dropped your karmas and you have become completely associated with Paramatma. Yukta iti uchyate yogi. That yogi, that dhyana yogi, here in this chapter, generally yogi refers to dhyana yogi. Earlier chapter, yogi was referred to karma yogi. So that dhyana yogi can be called yukta, means completely attached to Paramatma, yukta. When the conditions in the previous shloka are fulfilled, plus some more conditions is put in. Jnana Vijnana Triptasma Kutastho Vijitendriyaha. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma. Here he is using two terms because there is another chapter where he is going to talk about jnana and vijnana, jnana vijnana yoga. Jnana is what you get from books, what you get from external sources. That is jnana. You have learned something. That is jnana. You have to experience it. That is vijnana. This is the definition given by Adi Shankara throughout consistently, whenever jnana and vijnana terms are used. When vijnana term is not used, Jnana is supposed to include Vijnana. But here he is giving it separately. Jnanam Shastrokta Padarthanam Parijnanam. Whatever Shastra tells you, if you have understood that, that is Jnana. Vijnanam tu Shastratah Jnatanam Tasaiva Swanubhava Karanam. Whatever you have learned through Shastras, have you brought it as your experience? Swanubhava Karanam. Then only that is called Vijnanam. ताभ्याम ज्ञान विज्ञानाभ्याम तृप्तः संजात अलम प्रत्ययः आत्मा अंतःकरणम यस्य अंतःकरणम the mind has to be completely contented, tripta atma, completely satisfied with what? With jnana and vijnana, with what you have learned from books and what you have experienced. In this condition, if your mind is completely satisfied, contented, then you have reached the goal. Kotasthaha. Kotasthaha means your mind is completely free from agitation. Aprakampyaha. No kampana. Bhukampa. The earth is shaking. That is why it's called Bhukampa, isn't it? Similarly, the mind should not shake, should be steady. Aprakampyaha. Kotasthaha. Vijita indriyaha. All in the sense organs are under control or have been conquered. Sama loshta asmay kanchanaha. In that context, because you are progressing on the spiritual path, lot of honors will come to you, lot of dishonors will come to you, lot of enticements will come to you. That is the way of the world. But you should look at them with equanimity. Loshta is a clod of earth, a lump of earth, clay. Asma is stone. Kanchana is gold. A lump of clay, stone, and gold. You should look at them equally. They may present themselves before you in this process, but don't get agitated. That is a kotastha. You have to be steady. Sama, Roshta, Asma, Kanchana. In all the three, you employ equanimity. So these are the further inclusions which Bhagavan has made to call yourself yukta. You can call yourself yukta when your mind is fully focused on Paramatma, your mind is at peace, your mind is not worried about cold, heat, pleasure, pain, honor, dishonor, and your mind looks with equanimity at a cloud of earth, a stone, and gold. Look at the contrast he is making. From cloud of earth, he jumped to gold. And your mind is totally satisfied. That's why it is at peace. Totally satisfied with what you have learned and what you have experienced. What you have learned will not give you satisfaction unless you experience. That is what he is saying. And it is steady and your sense organs are never troubling you. Then you can call yourself yukta. This is the definition of the final reach of the yogi. जितात्मनः प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु तथा मानापमानयोः ज्ञानविज्ञानतृप्तात्मा कूटस्थो विजितेन्द्रियः युक्तयत्युच्यते योगी समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः सुहृन्मित्रार्युदासीन मध्यस्थद्वेष्य बन्धुषु साधुष्वपि च पापेषु समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते. The Samabuddhi, which he mentioned in the previous sloka, he is extending it further. He said, isn't it? Samaroshtasma Kanchanaha. There are inanimate objects. Roshta, Asma, Kanchana, they are all inanimate objects. When animate objects present themselves before you, there is human beings of different nature. Human beings of different nature. Then also you should exercise equanimity. Suhran, Mitra, Ari, Udatina, Madhyastha, Dveshya, Bandhushu, Sadhushu, Apicha Papeshu, Samabuddhi, Vishishyate. That is the special Vishishyate. That is the special Samabuddhi. That is the recommended, glorious samabuddhi, equanimity. Which one? If you are able to exercise equanimity with all these people, he is giving a big list. Suhrit and Mitram, both are friends, we saw yesterday. Pratyupakaram anapekshya upakarta, he is Suhrit. One who helps you without any expectation of return help. Purvasneham sambandhancha vinaiva upakarta. Madhusudana Saraswati explains it in a beautiful way. He says, he is not at all connected with you. He is a new person. He has never come in your life. Purvasneham sambandhancha vinaiva upakarta. And still he is coming to help you. Whenever there is a calamity, we saw in this Pahalgam calamity, some people went and helped. That is the way. Then he is a Suhrit. Purvasneham sambandhancha vinaiva upakarta. Without any contact, without any reason to help you, and without any previous contact, then if he comes and helps you, he is a Suhrit. Mitram is Snehavan. He is already a friend. He is already attached to me. He is a Mitra. He is expected to help me. Udasina. Udasina means indifferent. The person who is indifferent. He knows that you are in trouble, he will not help you. That is Udasina. Madhyastha. Viruddhayoho ubhayoho hitaishi. He is the Madhyastha. By definition, if there are two parties fighting, and this Madhyastha person goes and tries to help both of them, Viruddhayoho ubhayoho hitaishi. He is well-wisher of both the parties. Now, he is defining various types of persons whom you will come across. Madhyastha, dveshya, somebody who is completely opposed to you, who hates you. Bandhushu, somebody who is a friend, who is a relative. Who is a relative. He is a relative who is expected to be well disposed towards you. Sadhushu, a virtuous person. Sadhushu, virtuous persons. The persons who are known to be righteous. Papeshu, just the opposite. The person who is known to be a sinner. Everywhere he is using plural because they will come in large numbers in your lives. Everywhere he is using plural, not singular. Papeshu, people who are not sinners. Sadhushu, people who are virtuous. Bandhushu, people who are your relatives. Dvesheshu, those who are going to hate you. Madhyastheshu, those who are like mediators, well-meaning mediators. Udaseneshu, those who are indifferent to you. Suhrishu, mitreshu, those who are helping you because of previous knowledge of you or totally new to you, but still both are well-wishers. Both are helpful. So, in all these cases, are you exercising equanimity? That is the question. Yogarudham sadam sarvesham ayam uttamaha. This is the definition given by Adi Shankara. Why he is using the term vishishyate? Even among yogarudhas, those who have reached the peak of yoga, if you have to classify them, in fact, there should be no need for classification. They are all of equal stature. But if you want to single out one, when you have to give the first prize to someone, it is very difficult when there are equals. And still you want to give the first prize. Give the first prize to this man. Vishishyate. Yogarudhanam sarvesham ayam uttamaham. He is the best among all the yogarudha who exercises equanimity in all this group of people. Yogi injita satam atmanam rahasi sthitaha ekaki yatachitatma nirajira parigrahaha. Now he is going to start the process of Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga has been defined in great detail in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. Patanjali has written a big book on Yoga Sutras on how to perform Dhyana Yoga. So he is giving the essence of that book in these shlokas. That is called Ashtanga Yoga. Patanjali's Yoga Shastra talks about 8 facets of yoga. And those 8 are Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Samadhi is the final stage. Starting stage is Yama. Starting stage is not Asana. Nowadays, yoga is associated closely with asana. Yoga means asana. Go to some yoga teacher, learn some asanas. Yes, no doubt. Those asanas are meant for helping you in focusing your mind. Paramatma samahitaha visa. That stage for you to reach, asana is important. But asana is not the aim. Asana is not the goal. Similarly, before you go to asana stage, there are two very important stages, yama and niyama. Yama is bringing the sense organs under control. I am simplifying. Of course, Patanjali goes into great detail. What are the qualities that you have to develop for saying that you have got Yama? Controlling sense organs. Niyama is controlling the mind. Controlling the sense organs, controlling the mind. That is very important. Then, having done that, having been able to control, then you go to asana, what yogasanas are being taught. Then pranayama, controlling the breath. Pratyahara, all this is for controlling the mind, focusing the mind. So when the mind refuses to focus, mind goes and wanders here and there, you exercise control and bring the mind back to the focus. That process is called pratyahara. Actually, you will go through that process. Then dharana, focusing the mind on one object. Having withdrawn the mind from disturbed situation, focus, that is dharana. Dhyana, you have achieved focus. Dharana is starting to focus. Your mind is still having a little bit of agitation. Dhyana is no agitation, completely focused meditation. Samadhi is, dhyana has got three. Dhyana, dhyatru, dhyaya, which comes in even Lalita Sahasranam. Dhyana, dhyatru, dhyaya. That means one who meditates, the object of meditation, and the process of meditation. There are three. That Triputi it is called. That Triputi is still there in the stage of dhyana. In the case of samadhi, the Triputi disappears. Only dhyeta, dhyaya, that means the object of dhyana is remaining. That means the person who started doing the dhyana has vanished, has disappeared into the object of meditation. And the process of meditation is complete. There's no more process left. He has become Paramatma. Jiva has become Paramatma. That is the state of Samadhi, undisturbed dhyana. So these 8 stages are being mentioned here in brief in these shlokas. Now here he is using Yata Chittatma. Yata Chittatma refers to the first 2 stages, Yama and Niyama. Controlling the mind, and because he is using 2 words, Chitta and Atma. Chitta is the mind, and since Atma is using in a separate way, so he says Atma should be understood as Dehascha. That is definition of Shankara. Chittam antakaranam atma dehascha samyatau yasya saha yata chittatma. One whose body is under control, one whose mind is under control, he is yata chittatma. Yogi yujjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha. If you want to call yourself a yogi, and if you want to perform dhyana yoga, satatam yunjita, always practice yoga. Yunjita, practice yoga by doing what? Atmanam rahasi sthitaha. Place yourself in a secret place. Don't sit in a place frequented by people. That is why people yogis used to go to forest, used to go to cave. In fact, Shankara mentions it. Rahasi ekante giriguhadau sthitaha. Giriguhadau. mountain cave, etc. That kind of place. Ekante, all alone. Then Atmanam Rahasi Sthitaha. Ekaki Asahayaha. Sthitaha means, he has said already, Rahasi, secret place. Still, even in that secret place, there should be nobody to help you. I will take one helper with me. It's a secret place. Nobody will know. No, that is not permitted. Asahayaha, without any external help. रहसि स्थितः एकाकी च इति विशेषणात् संन्यासं कृत्वा इति अर्थः. Adi goes further. He says, Bhagavan says, Atmanam rahasi sthitaha ekaki. He is also using the word ekaki. Next line. Ekaki means all alone. He has already mentioned, you have gone to a sacred place, you are not taking any helper with you, and still you are ekaki. Ekaki means not accompanied by wives. Why? Why that should be mentioned? Because all Agni Karyas, all Vedic karma, you have to do accompanied by your wife. But here, since you are going for Dhyana Yoga, don't take your wife also. Sannyasam kritva means behave like a sannyasi. Having dropped all your attachments. That is how you should perform practice of your Dhyana Yoga. एकाकी यतचित्तात्मा निराशी अपरिग्रहः निराशीः वीततृष्णः having dropped all expectations, all desires. Aparigraha, not wanting to grab anything, not interested in grabbing anything. You have retired to a forest, you have retired to a cave, you have started your Dhyana Yoga practice, that suddenly some desire occurs in you. Really, I want this, I want that. That if I had brought that, that would have helped me. Don't bring anything, don't spend your thoughts on that. Don't divert your thoughts on that. Aparigraha, Tyakta Sarva Parigraha, Sanyasitvepi. Even though you have dropped all attachments to karmas, even then, Tyakta Sarva Parigraha, all Aparigraha is one of the important virtues that have been defined for even an ordinary person. Ordinary person, forget about, we are talking about highly spiritually advanced persons here. Even ordinary, regular people who lead regular life, even for them, aparigraha is a virtue which has been recommended in Manusmriti and other shastras repeatedly. Aparigraha is the tendency not to grab anything, not to look for grabbing anything. Parigraha is grabbing something. So don't do that. So, if this is the starting point of Dhyana Yoga. So you have retired to a forest, you have dropped all your desires, you have dropped all your tendency to grab any object, your mind is under control, your body is under control, you are all alone. That is the way you start your Dhyana Yoga practice. सुहृन्मित्रार्युदासीन मध्यस्थद्वेष्य बन्धुषु साधुष्वपि च पापेषु समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते योगी युञ्जीत सततम् आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः एकाकी यतचित्तात्मा निराचीरपरिग्रहः शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितं नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम् तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतिचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युञ्जात् योगम् आत्मविशुद्धये. So, now he is having reached that place where you want to do your Dhyana Yoga practice. You have chosen your place. Now you go and sit there. What kind of place you have chosen? Even that he is giving guidance. Shuchau deshe, the place should be clean. Because in a forest and cave there may be unclean places. Clean that place. Place should be clean. That spot should be clean. Pratishtha, yeah. You establish a seat in that place. Pratisthapya asanam. Pratisthapya sthiram asanam atmanaha. For you a steady seat has to be placed in that clean spot. That seat should not, because there may be uneven surface, it should not roll here and there. All that he mentioned. It should be sthira, steady. The asana should be steady. This asana is not the asana of the person. This asana is the seat. We are talking about the place where he is going to sit. Natyachritam nadinecham shailajanapushottaram. How that asana should be. Asana can be an ordinary plant in our normal understanding. Now, your place should be fulfilling these qualifications. Then only Natyachritam nadinecham. Okay, I have chosen a place. I brought a big block of wood, very tall, so that I can sit with my feet hanging down. No, that is not permitted. Not yuchritam, not very tall. Your sasana should not be very tall. Your seat should not be very tall. Na ati neecham, nor should it be very low. Neither very low nor very tall. If you are very tall, if you are choosing a very tall seat, then there is a danger of falling down. Bhagavan is explaining all that. Adi Shankara is explaining, the other commentators have explained. Why not Ichritam? Why not a tall seat? Because there is a danger of your falling down when you are in a state of dhyana, you have forgotten your body. That should not happen. You don't harm your body. If you are in a very choosing a very low seat, other insects can come, other external botherations can come. So that is why. Natyuchritam natinekam chaila jila kusottaram. That seat should be covered with chaila, a cloth, agina, a deer skin or tiger skin. That's called agina. Agina is a hide, a skin. Kusha, that is darbha. Of course, the order in which it has been given should be reversed. That has been mentioned by Shankara. Paఠక్రమాది విపరీతః atra kramaha chailadina. Don't follow the order given by Bhagavan in the shloka, follow the opposite order. That is the intention of Bhagavan. That is kusha first on the seat. It may be a plank. On that, spread darbha grass. On that, spread your tiger skin or deer skin. On that, you put a piece of cloth. Chaila, Agina, Kusha. Uttaram, one above the other. तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युञ्जात् योगम् आत्मविशुद्धये. Now that you have chosen a seat, a proper seat. Yunjat, start your practice. Yogam yunjat, start your yoga practice. For what purpose? Atma Vishuddhaye, for purifying your mind. That is the only purpose for a beginner. For a beginner, because we are talking about a beginner at this stage. For a beginner, the aim is to purify your mind. Asane upavishya, having sat on that asana which has been prepared, on the seat which has been prepared, as mentioned earlier, tatra, having sat there, manaha ekagram kritva, focusing your mind on a single object, that is Paramatma. Yata chitta indriya kriyaha, having stopped all activities of the mind, having stopped all activities of the sense organs. You are sitting steady with no movement of the body. You are sitting in a proper asana and focus your mind completely. Ekagram manakritva. शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितं नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरम् तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युञ्जात् योगमात्मविशुद्धये समं गायचिरो ग्रीवं धारयन्नचलं स्थिरः सम्प्रेक्ष्य नासिकाग्रं स्वं दिशश्चानवलोकयन् प्रशान्तात्मा विगतभीः ब्रह्मचारिव्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्यमच्चित्तो युक्त आसीत मत्परः. Now he is completing the preparation and the process. Samam kaya shirogrivam dharayanne. Your body, your head, and your neck. Griva is neck. The head, the neck, and the trunk all should be in one line. Sit steady, even that, your posture. That is what asana is, yogasana. Whatever yogasanas are being taught to us, if you remember, this is the first aspect of that. You cannot sit with these three parts not on a straight line. Then it is not an asana. So samam kaya shiro grivam, with your trunk, with your head, with your neck on same line evenly. Dharayanne achalam sthiraha. Hold your body, trunk and head achalam without any movement. No movement. Sthiraha, steady. No movement for some time. After 5 minutes, I will move. No, that is not correct. Sthiraha. It should be permanently like that. No movement for all the time when you are practicing this. That is why he is using two words. Samam dharayataha chalanam sambhavati ataha vichinishti achalam yati. That is, you are keeping the three parts in straight line, but still you can still keep moving. So that is not permitted. In fact, even that is being brought out by Shankara very nicely. Sthiraha. Steady yourself. No movement is permitted. Samprekshana atika agram swam. Yesterday we said, Chatushchaya vantare bhruvoho. Your eyes should be focused on the space between the two eyebrows. Now today he says, focus your eyes on the tip of your nose, Natika Agram. Now these are yoga practices which are being taught to us for focusing our mind. You can tip of the nose is not the aim. The center point of the eyebrows is not the aim. That is only to help for our focusing the mind. That point is being made nicely by Shankara. You know, he says, Nasikagram Samprekshya, Bhagavan says, Nasikagram Samprekshya Iva. To add one word, Iva, he says, as if you are looking at the tip of your nose. Not looking at the tip of your nose is not the aim. Yesterday, Redani was asking this question. So, Iva, you add that. Iva Shabdo Luptaha Drashtavyaha. Nihe Swanasikagra Samprekshanam Nihe Viditsitam. It's not the aim to look at your tip of your nose. That is not the Chakshusho Drishti Sannipataha. That is the direction of your eyes mentally should be focused towards the tip of the nose for enabling mental concentration. Such a antakarana samadhana apekshata vivakshitaha. Antakarana samadhana is the aim. That is, focusing the mind is the aim. And for that, this is the step, this is the help. Samprekshanathikagram swam tishascha anavalokayanne. You have closed your eyes, but still your eyes are wandering in all the directions, in all the 8 directions. It is possible. We do that. That should not be done. Tishascha anavalokayanne. Either with open eyes or with closed eyes. Don't look at the directions, the 8 directions. Tishascha anavalokayanne. So this talks about the resolute mind, sthira, the resolute mind focusing on Paramatma, and whenever there is a distraction, you bring the mind back to the focus. That is Pratyahara and Dharana. The 2 stages which are mentioned in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra are covered here. Pratyahara means withdrawal from other distractions. That is why he says, Dishasya Anavalokayam. In fact, that is mental distraction. Direction need not be taken as physical direction, direction of mind. Dharana, bringing the mind back and back to your focus. That is what is covered in this shloka. प्रशान्तात्मा विगतभिः ब्रह्मचारिव्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्य मच्चित्तो युक्त आसीत मत्परः. Prashanta Atma. Bring your mind to a state of peace. If there is any slight bit of agitation, get rid of that. Get rid of all agitation. Bring your mind to a state of peace. Vigatabhihi. Drop all your fear. Because first time when you do this, naturally there will be a sense of fear. Array, I am going somewhere. Because this is the condition to which I am not used. I am losing my mind. In fact, people may think that they may become mad. They may go off the rocker. That is, Vigatabhihi, drop your fear. Brahmachari vrate sthitaha. You should, brahmachari can be taken in all the senses. That is, don't think of women or think only of Brahman. Your entire focus is on Brahman. In fact, that is the real meaning of brahmachari. Brahmachari is one who is focused entirely on Brahman. Vrata, that is a vow that you will not deviate from that focus. Brahmachari vrate sthitaha. So you have to be steady in that. That has been defined as Guru Shushrusha Bhiksham Bhuktyadi Tasmin Sthitaha Tat Anushtata Bhaved. That is, when you are sitting for yoga, naturally you are a brahmachari only. That is not the reference here, according to Shankara. He says, even during other times, when you are not sitting for Dhyana Yoga, you are perhaps in a Gurukula with your Guru, hence you are practicing Dhyana Yoga. In that case, what you should do? Guru Shushrusha Bhikshanna Bhuktyadi. Serve your Guru with all sincerity. Serve whatever, eat whatever you get through Bhiksha. Having served, what is the brahmachari's role in a Gurukula? He worships the Guru, he serves the Guru, he learns from the Guru, and as instructed by the Guru, he goes for Bhiksha, collecting the Bhiksha, and he submits to the Guru whatever Bhikshanna he has collected, and whatever Anna he gives, that only he eats. These are the rules of Gurukula. So that she is mentioning in this context. That is the intention of Brahmachari Vrata. Like that you should behave. Even though you may be a grihastha, brahmachari vrata, you should behave like that brahmachari. Tat anushtata bhavet. Manas samyamya, control your mind. Don't allow your mind to wander here and there. Machittaha, focus your mind only on me. Me meaning Paramatma. Focus your mind. Machittaha yuktaha asita matparaha. You sit down with your mind entirely focused on me and with your goal being myself, matparaha. Focus is one thing and goal is one thing. That nicely Shankara explains. Kashchit ragi stri chittaha natu striyameve paratpena grinhati kam tarhi rajan mahadev. A person may be having a woman in mind. For him, the goal is three. Though he's practicing all the yoga which is mentioned here. Or the goal may be attaining wealth. Goal may be attaining the favor of a king. So that should not be your goal here. Mat paraha, your goal is only myself, only Paramatma. Your mind is fully focused on me for getting some other goal. That is why he is using two terms, Achittaha, Mat paraha. Beautiful explanation by Shankara. Your mind is fully focused on Paramatma for getting the favor of the king. No, not Paraha. Your goal also should be Paramatma. My focus should be on Paramatma. Goal also should be on Paramatma. These are the various stages how you should, starting from Yama and Yama, we have come up to Dhyana. Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana. Focus your mind, steady your mind. समं काय शिरो ग्रीवं धारयन् अचलं स्थिरः सम्प्रेक्ष्य नासिकाग्रं स्वं दिशश्चानवलोकयन् प्रशान्तात्मा विगतभिर्ब्रह्मचारिव्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्य मच्चित्तो युक्त आसीत् मत्परः. I think we stop for the day and we continue in our next session next Saturday. Saturday, 7:30 p.m. IST as usual. And this week, as I mentioned yesterday, we are blessed that the initiation of the 71st Acharya Panchagamagoti. The rituals are in progress. That is going to happen on Akshaya Tritiya day, Wednesday, 30th of April, followed by Shankara Jayanti on 2nd May, Adi Shankara Jayanti, whose Bhashya we are studying along with Bhagavad Gita. Very blessed we are to be in this exercise, in this context. Any questions?
Those who have questions, please unmute yourself, turn on your video and ask questions. Any questions, anybody? No questions, Guru.
Namaskaram, Mama. No questions, but it was very insightful today. I think I have to listen to the audio and video once again to understand. So thank you, Mama, again.
What you're saying is the subject is tough.
No, not tough, but lot of insightful. So it was not even, I mean,
Yeah.
I need to listen once again.
Subject will continue to be tough till the close of 6th chapter. After 6th chapter, the subject becomes less tough.
Yes,
all the remaining 12 chapters. And when we come to 18th chapter, it is going to be a summary of this. So a little bit of toughness is to be expected there. But all the remaining chapters are comparatively simpler. The concepts which are being brought on here in right after 6th chapter are no doubt tough.
So, Mama, this Adhyaya, what we are studying, it's not mandatory for everyone who wants to lead towards the moksha, right, Mama? It is
Which one?
Atma Sannyasa Yoga, the sannyas, this whatever we have discussed yesterday and today.
No, not compulsory, but this is almost compulsory aid. Without this, you cannot really control your mind, because mind control is essential for moksha. Mind control is the only essential. Manayeva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. So moksha is determined by manaha, by manas. So how do you control your mind? This is a major aid for that, the dhyana yoga. Without practicing meditation, of course, those who cannot practice meditation, lesser people like us, we are doing japa, we are doing parayana, all that. Isn't it? We are doing all kinds of listening to music, etc., etc., practicing music. They are also sadhanas. They are also helpful in controlling the mind. But finally, if you can go to the state of meditation, that will help. That is Bhagavan's view. Otherwise, why would he spend the entire chapter on Jnana Yoga? Tell me. Entire chapter is devoted to Jnana Yoga.
Yes, Mama. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Today's lesson was very useful. I mean, so many basic doubts, and like everyone, even though you can practice meditation or be on the spiritual path, you do not need to think you're a bad person, or you need to make the progress road. That was very informative, actually, and I think, as Rajni said, I have to listen to it again. Today's lecture definitely needs one or two listenings to understand deeply.
Yeah, sure. So I wish all of you all the best. Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara Mahadeva Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Shri Mahatripura Sundarye Jaya Jaya.
Thank you, sir.